Alright, this is the devlog for January 2023. This is going to be a bit of a weird devlog because, well, one, I'm sick again. Yeah, last month as well. Now I got something else, I guess. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a shorter, unorganized devlog. So let's start with what I'm probably going to make the title of this tutorial. Unreal tutorials are freaking lies. It's all lies all the way down. So, what I'm gonna talk... I've talked about this before, that Unreal tutorials often give very bad advice and just sometimes wrong advice. So I'm just gonna tell another great story of Unreal tutorials being wrong. I'll do the tutorial map. So, one thing that I've talked about in a old devlog is how that the trouble that I had to finding out a way how to tell when a map has loaded. So in order for the save system to work correctly, I need to understand when a map has finished loading before I try and replace all the actors with the saved data. So the way every single YouTube tutorial, YouTube question, Stack Overflow, whatever I talked about, try to find on the internet, they said that this was the solution. You have to go to every single one of your individual maps, get the game instance, and then cast to, and in my case, that is game RT. This is my game instance. That is the object that handles basically the game that is running. And then say, I don't know, make a function that says level load. I've actually already removed it from my SK game RT because I don't use it anymore. But what I used to do is I used to have a trigger here that basically said to the game RT, hey, the level has finished loading. And in every single level, I had to add this piece of code. I mean, it's a script, but whatever. I have discovered via a completely unrelated tutorial that you can actually just bind a delegate to an event, which is what I expected. I just could never figure out how to do it. When I was looking up a tutorial on how to make loading screens, this is when I saw this in the example code, and I flipped out. I was like, are you joking? So there is a way to do this via events, which I completely expected. I just never knew what it was. So all those like dozens of morons who are keep saying and harping on about, oh yeah, the way you detect begin level plays is you just go into your level script and then you just bind to begin play. Hey, the level has become play. No, you can just do that via your RT, your game instance with an object delegate. Like, oh, for fuck's sake. So yeah, just another case of people online giving extremely terrible advice on Unreal, which technically speaking I have now done as well because I have explained it the bad way in a previous devlog. So if anyone ever sees my old devlog and they say like, oh, that's how you do it, I'm very sorry, but that's not how you do it. I should probably go back to all my old devlogs and tell by all the stuff that I did wrong, hey, I did this wrong, sorry, I didn't know better, I just looked at bad tutorials. This is the reason why I don't make Unreal tutorials. I'm just gonna give people bad advice. Like, I don't feel I'm confident enough with Unreal to do tutorials. So yeah. With that out of the way, I can now talk about the actual interesting stuff. Hopefully. Oh, I closed Notepad. So, what have I done this... So... Okay, little hiccup. So this is the main thing that I've done this month is I have made a new main menu screen. The main menu screen now rotates around. So the things that I'm finishing up with the game is that the game is pretty much done. I just needed to do a lot of things related to what you say it, yeah, for the player, so for the people who play the game, so that's missing stuff basically. So I now have a profile where you can see your stats. This is like not important, but like for the future maybe. I'm also thinking about doing collectibles in the level so you can find intel. So this is just lorem ipsum. I also want to do like lore and intel that you can find. So that's like stuff that is now implemented. I just have to add stuff to it. Oh, I'm starting to get a headache. So yeah, outfits are also part of unlock. So I've blocked these out, and you basically have to unlock them first before you can get them. So that's just part of player progression. I have fixed a bunch of stuff with the UI, but I'm not going to talk about that. I've also added a difficulty select, so you can now select your difficulty. So you have easy difficulty, where you just take 50% less damage. Then you have your normal difficulty. This is like intended. This is something I like, and I wish more games do it. This is how the game is intended to be played. Like, this is the baseline. A lot of games are like really bad at explaining what the baseline should be, because some games have like their normal difficulty as baseline, but other games have like their hardest difficulty as baseline, and it's just like normal is easier. Then there's purity mode, which is basically you're not allowed to save the game manually. You can only load the start of levels. And then there is brutality, which is just the same, except I've added more enemies to the screen. So if I go to let's show hostility. I mean, tranquility speaks for itself. Gotcha. So there's no enemy here. But if I start this episode from brutality, there's now an additional enemy there. So I've already decorated the levels with more enemies, and also more pickups. So there are a few more ammo pickups to like balance out the more enemies. But yeah, so that's basically I've added. Another thing that I finally added was yeah, I can show it in the main menu. Is a decorative stuff. So these decorative creature pots, they're in the biolabs levels. I made these. A bunch of other stuff, decorative stuff I've also made. But yeah, this devlog is terrible. I'm just gonna talk about what I'm gonna do, because I'm starting to feel terrible. So let's just talk about stuff. So these are really the final things I have to do. So a bunch of remaining scripting. So what I need to do, so a few fights need scripting. They don't need it, but I want them. So the tutorial still needs target dummies. I talked about it last time. I have two. The game basically only crashed at 2 points, but one crash has not happened in a very long time, so I guess it's fixed. And another crash is very difficult to force. So I hope it one time crashes with attached projectile, so I can try and fix that bug. Fix and SCADA, it's minor. I already talked about loading screens, that I was working on loading screens. I was working on loading screens before I got sick, but I got sick, so I never finished loading screens. Because I got distracted with fixing the level begin play, and then I got sick. Make a bunch of collectibles. That's just for the collectible menu. I still need to record an ambient track for the tutorial. And I need a better way to handle unlocks. I have a way that I handle unlocks, but I'm not happy with it. It's not very scalable, so I need to work on that. So that's basically all I'm working on for hopefully this month, and then I should be done. And I should start working on performance and making sure the game just works, and then seeing if I can get it on Steam. And that's basically the final things I do. The game is pretty far, and yeah. I've done plenty of other stuff this month, but I can't recollect that, so yeah. I hope next devlog will be better.